What's some of the feedback that you've received when people hear that you're getting ready to start a business in 2020 slash
Yeah.
we're in 2021 now, but people are calling it 2020 part two or the extended version. What's some of the feedback people are saying to you as you're getting ready to open?
As soon as I say it, they say why, or is that still allowed? Aren't you scared? Those are the biggest questions. People think I'm kind of a nut.
I mean, the thing that I appreciate is if you can, when you open, and when you're successful, I mean, you're able to survive and thrive in times like this, then you're going to be great. I mean, I think that it's awesome and such a great lesson to start now, so that you have to be very lean. You have to know how to stretch that dollar, and if you can start maximizing revenue and profits now, then you're going to be in great shape when things turn around and vaccines start flowing or whatever the case might be. I think it's a great time to start a business.
I do too. I know it sounds crazy to some people, but there's so much opportunity, not to take away from the negative of COVID, but there is a lot of opportunity out there right now, especially for something like a mobile bakery and bistro, because I'm a huge foodie myself. I want food all the time. But I'm not really comfortable going to a restaurant, sitting down in a small space. So to be able to get restaurant quality food on a food truck, where I don't really have to be surrounded by other people, I would like that.
Yeah, so I guess those that are, to piggyback on Tim's question, so those that are saying that you're crazy and that starting this is a little wild. I mean, do you just straight up go, "Hey, well, we're open this day. We'd love to see you," or what's your response to stuff like that?
Yeah, if you think I'm crazy, okay, I am. You know what I mean? You have to be really to be an entrepreneur.
Well, I was going to say that they might call you crazy even pre-COVID or post-COVID when
exactly.
you're opening a business. That's ridiculous. Did you know that the margins in this or this? It's like, yeah. So I mean,
like you said, pre-COVID, every time I talked about wanting to do a restaurant or a food truck or something, all I got was the stats of how many restaurants fail within the first 5 years. And
were those from people who actually have started a business?
No.
Of course
and
not.
That's the biggest thing. It's always people who have no experience and, you know what I mean, don't know what they're talking about.
Never listen to those people. Smile, listen, consume it, but don't actually do anything with it. That's my advice to you. I mean, I think we actually said this last week. You don't go to your dentist and ask them accounting questions, right? And so this person who happens to watch Shark Tank that now thinks they're the world's greatest business coach that's giving you feedback on something, it's like, yo, calm down.
Someone who watches Hell's Kitchen and knows how to cook a steak.
Right.
I'm out. I'm leaving. I'm cancel Zack Miller. It's 2021. I'm done.
Zack, I love you, man.
I'm done. Bye. All right. I counted to 3 and I'm back. No, like we are unique individuals in ourselves that are willing to like bet on ourselves. And then to hear someone who's not willing to bet on themselves tell you how you're going to succeed or not. I mean, I just think that's childish and I'm over it. Like, it's just silly.
Well, yeah. It's you've got to be able to bet on yourself. And Chanice, you have the endurance and you've overcome life. I mean, you have the tenacity and the ability to keep on pushing through. And starting a business is going to be one of the most challenging things that you ever do. Maybe not the most challenging, but it's going to be challenging. But at the same time, it's also going to be the most rewarding. But in the few months that we've known one another, you have demonstrated that you have the ability to overcome those challenges. And one of the things that I found really quickly as I started working with startups and founders is that not all of them have that strength and the ability to keep pushing through when times get tough.
Yeah.
Resume entrepreneurs. That's what I call those people who aren't good enough. I mean, I remember, so Chanice, you don't know this about me, but about 10 years ago when I started Hatch, the idea was to invest in a handful of businesses in a cycle and put them through the ringer, and we would take a cut out of that business and we would help them grow. And I remember it was the second round of Hatch, and we took a company that on paper was resume entrepreneur, where it just says this thing is going to be great. Literally, we introduced this person to someone else, one of our mentors, if you will. Actually, I think it was an actual investor in that case. That investor invited them to meet this other person. And then that person offered them a job and they took it and basically bailed on the company. I was like, we just invested in you. So it's a big learning experience for me on like investing. But then also it's just like this person, like, just because you have the stats that say that you know how to be a great entrepreneur does not mean, and maybe you had done stuff in the past, does not mean that you're going to be successful. So a lot of lessons learned there.